And be seated with all mobile phones kept on to silent mode. Honorable Chief Guest and other dignitaries are here at the venue, would be joining us any moment now. Thank you. Professor Abhay Kurandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. May I invite you, sir, to kindly grace the stage. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir. Also inviting guests of honor, Sri Ravi A. Robert Gerard, DDG SRI, Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications. A warm welcome to you, sir. Inviting Sri S.K. Marwa, Scientist G and Group Coordinator, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Inviting Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, DDG Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications. Warm welcome, sir. Also inviting on stage Sri Manoj Tandon, Director Project Operations and Maintenance, RailTel and Chairman BIF's Wi-Fi Committee. Warm welcome. Inviting Mr. Pranav Nehru, CEO, Atria Convergence Technologies Limited. Warm welcome to you, sir. Inviting Mr. Hiren Modi, Technical Product and Program Management, Wireless Carriers, Meta. A warm welcome. Inviting Dr. S.N. Gupta, Treasurer, BIF, and Sri Anil Tandon, Director General, BIF. Warm welcome to you, sir. Namaskar and good morning. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Abhay Kurandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Ministry of Science and Technology. Our special guests of honor, Sri Ravi A. Robert Gerard, DDG SRI, Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications. Sri S.K. Marwa, Scientist G and Group Coordinator, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, DDG Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications. Eminent dignitaries on the day, special invitees, senior officials, esteemed panelists, distinguished delegates, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the celebrations of World Wi-Fi Day 2024. Together for a better internet, Wi-Fi, the enabler of affordable and inclusive broadband for India, which is being organized by Broadband India Forum. Today, we gather to recognize the incredible advancements of the unifying power of Wi-Fi technology that connects us across the globe. As we embrace the digital era, the Wi-Fi has become a fundamental part of our daily lives, enabling education, business, and social connections. It's a day to reflect on how far we have come and to look forward to the innovations that lie ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege now to introduce Dr. S.N. Gupta, the Treasurer of Broadband India Forum. Dr. S.N. Gupta is Chairman Blockchain for Productivity Forum and Evangelist Digigaon Foundation for Converting Rural Unemployment into Entrepreneurship, Chairman Bharat IPv6 Forum and Treasurer BIF. Recently felicitated by the Commonwealth University Kingdom of Tonga with an honorary PhD degree, is an international expert in NGN technologies, regulation, interconnection, and broadband with 40+ years of experience. Author of Long Tail Walking Extra Mile on Rural Broadband Business. He is the first Indian recipient of the IPv6 Hall of Fame 2019. And also the chairman of India IPv6 Council. Has earlier served in the Ministry of Communications and Railways and TRAI. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. S.N. Gupta to kindly deliver the introductory address and begin the proceedings of today's celebrations.
Yeah, thank you, Sapna. Good morning, everyone. Let me start with wishing all of you a very happy World Wi-Fi Day, which BIF is celebrating along with the ITU APT Foundation and many other industry body with the support of government, especially Ministry of Science and Technology, MIT and DOT. Honorable Professor Abhay Kurandikar Sahab, the Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, and the chief guest for the day, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, DDG, OSD2 Member Technology, Department of Telecom, Ministry of Communication. Dr. A. Robert Ravi, DDG SRI, Department of Technology, Ministry of Communication. And Dr. S.K. Verma, Scientist G, Group Coordinator, Ministry of Information and Technology. Mr. Anil Tandon, our DG of course, and Mr. Manoj Tandon, Director, Project Operation Maintenance, Railtel, and Chairman, BIF Wi-Fi Committee. Actually under his leadership only this program is being arranged. And Mr. Parnav Nehru, Chief Operating Officer, Atria Convergence Technology. We know it as ACT. It is a household name now. And Mr. Hiral Modi, Technical Product Program Management of Meta, and all our other senior colleagues from the department, from the industry, from our forum. It is indeed a great honor and pleasure for me to start this event by basically a introductory kind of presentation actually on behalf of our Honorable President TV.R. Saab, who will be online with us. Actually, he is out of country, so I have to do this job, which will be very difficult to actually emulate our great charismatic TV Saab. So with that, actually, as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, all of you know, but we have come a long way. Actually, if we can go to the next slide, Sapna. So here why we are all here, as I told, is it is a World Wi-Fi Day in India. We actually started celebrating it about 10 years back. Incidentally, I was there. It was done in that Sharda University in Greater Noida 10 years back. Few of you were already there actually in that also. After that, we have kept doing it actually. And this is the day when we celebrate the Wi-Fi, its contribution to the connectivity, to the economy, and what are the way forwards. We discuss with very senior experts from the industry, from the ministries, from the regulators, that how we can leverage the unlimited potential. Actually, I always call Wi-Fi have an unlimited potential, not because of the technology, because of its extreme efficient utilization of the spectrum. Actually, because the Wi-Fi, the spectrum utilization, actually, as per a report from the US Parliament, actually, its efficiency of the spectrum becomes not just 10 times or 100 times. Actually, it becomes 1,000 times. If you unlicense any spectrum, its usage is unlimited, unrestricted actually. So its efficiency of utilization becomes 1,000 times. It's an empirical report actually, which was presented to the US Senate about 10 years back by the members of the parliament and lot of industry stalwarts, including 10 Nobel laureate. They are the signatory to that report. So that is the potential. So every year we see how we can exploit that in the country also. A lot of work has already been done. Actually, if we go to the presentation, actually my role has been made very simple by our great Professor Devu, that he has put everything there in data. And when we talk of data, then a lot of revealing happens actually, lot of misgivings go away, lot of revealing happens. So, Devu, can we go to the... Okay. So, this is what I was mentioning about the exponential data growth in India. You all know, actually, it started with the mobile growth. Actually, yesterday itself, as per TRI data, 1.2 billion mobile customers are there. So, we have reached another landmark, actually, 1.2 billion, which makes it 120 crore mobile connection. But out of that, all are not data. Actually, some of them are voice only. The data itself also, as the slide shows, 936 million. So we are almost reaching towards 1 billion, which nobody in the world can have. 1 billion broadband connection will be there. But there is a very revealing factor which is hidden here actually. Out of 936, only 50% are from rural. And I'm using the word only very deliberately. 50% only in rural. That means about 475 million. But why only? Why only? Because the population, rural population is more than 50% of the total population. It is about 70%. So what happens in the rural, we still have about 500 million people which are unconnected with data. They may be connected with voice but unconnected with data. And that is what we call digital divide. We are trying to bridge it through different policy initiatives, different funding and all that, but still we are not there actually. And that happens to be the world average also. In the world, 50% of the overall population is still unconnected with the data. But in India, so India is not that way a outlier. It's with world average, but we should not be there because we are highest in so many things. But why in the rural data connectivity? So that will be discussed here. The data storage and data, all these things. So that is what I wanted to bring. Now, how we can do? What is the basically Wi-Fi can do? So if we can go to next slide, Devu, what do I have to do myself? Contribution of Wi-Fi. I will, other than reading first line, I will not repeat it. Everyone knows 10% increase in broadband penetration in any country, and especially in the developing country, would potentially increase the GDP by 1%. For India, actually, it is 1.69%. If you increase the broadband penetration by 10%, GDP grows by 1.69%. And then there are so many things. But main thing where we are there and what can solve this issue of the digital divide is the historic PM Money scheme actually, which came 3 years back, and it was also actually covered in my thesis or my book, PM Money, 5 years back actually. And this is what I think everybody knows about this. PM Money was a totally decentralized, unregulated, disaggregated framework from licensing point of view, from architecture point of view, from everything point of view. First time in the history in India, you could provide a telecom service without a license. As you know, in India, it is all license large, especially for telecom. Some license is required. It may be a registration, it may be authorization. In PM Money, where you are providing actual internet connectivity to the end user without a license, that is biggest kind of, you can say, liberalization happened. And with that, lot of saving. You don't have to pay 8% AGR, what the telcos are struggling to pay actually. It's very high. So here you don't have to pay. So there are so many things were done, but still it has not taken off the way it was envisaged. It has not helped to solve the digital divide problem of the country, and we will see during the day how we can do it actually. And then last slide, of course, is about the Bharat 6G vision. We are all talking about it. Last year, our Honorable Prime Minister actually made this statement, vision statement, and that has been adopted by the ITU also in the Dubai meeting 6 months back. So the vision, and there the vision, some of the targets are there. 50 million public Wi-Fi hotspots. Today you would have seen, I missed it, 0.2 million only, which is of course a under reporting. Actually it is 0.5 million. We just have 5 lakhs Wi-Fi hotspot in the country. What is required with the world average? It should have been 10 million, minimum 1 crore. But our 6G vision is not world average. It is to be number 1 in the world. So 50 million and 100 Mbps with each citizen and all that. But as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, 50 million. And that is the opportunity. And that is how the Wi-Fi can solve the problem or the ambition of 6G. 6G ambition of Prime Minister is affordability, sustainability and ubiquity. The meaning of ubiquity is everywhere, not to everyone. Everywhere. There should be no dark spots, no dead zone. There is a session here about the dead zone. And let me tell you, and Professor Krandikar is there, so I will like to make some very good suggestion in that sense. So you cannot, dead zone means where the conventional technology is unable to provide the network. That is the dead zone. So then what do you do? Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is there. With Wi-Fi, you can clear all the dead zone. And dead zone is not only remote or rural area. Actually, dead zones are there in the city. In the Delhi alone, there are 300 dead zones. In Mumbai, there are thousands of dead zones where nothing is there. No 4G, no 5G, no connectivity. So that is where Wi-Fi comes to the, so all that zone, and we have a full session. And here, of course, because our honorable chairman is there, honorable secretary is there, professor, and also our DOT people are there. So what can be done? And one, because they have to leave, that is why I want to make a very big recommendation. So like Professor Krindikar, you already know, actually he was the father or architect of what we call frugal 5G, LMLC, limited mobile, large coverage, and that has become now a standard also, IEEE standard. So we give credit to that, and that can solve actually, and Wi-Fi come there. And then we have Dr. Robert Ravi. I will like to call him the CTO of DOT actually, he's the real CTO of DOT. Both these people together actually can help me to penetrate, make Wi-Fi. For that, what is required? A very simple thing, a policy initiative of increasing the power of the Wi-Fi. Actually, we are now stuck at the 33 dB, that is only 4 watt. So for rural, if you can somehow permit me to do 40 dB, that's all. That is the only thing required. Then full rural, no dead zone will be there in rural India. That is the promise of PM Money, promise of Wi-Fi. With that, I'm really thankful for this opportunity, and thankful to all of you for the patient listening.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, let's also welcome Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President BIF. Sir has joined us virtually. A very warm welcome to you also, sir. So ladies and gentlemen, next we have the pleasure of hearing from a visionary leader in telecommunications, Shri Manoj Tandon, Director of Project, Operations and Maintenance at RailTel and the esteemed Chairman of BIF's Wi-Fi Committee. His pioneering work in expanding Wi-Fi infrastructure has been instrumental in enhancing connectivity across India. So please extend a warm welcome to Shri Manoj Tandon as he sets the context for today's discussions and share his invaluable insights into the evolution and impact of the Wi-Fi technology. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, Professor Abhay, Secretary DOT, Secretary Department of Science and Technology, esteemed guests, media friends, and industry colleagues. Thanks a lot to Broadband India Forum and all sponsors of this organization, of this event, to celebrate and deliberate the public Wi-Fi on this World Wi-Fi Day. In the modern age, the importance of Internet cannot be undermined. And who can think of COVID age without Internet being in place? In the dense urban areas, the big forces of telecom market have already locked their horns to garner the higher revenue market share through the cheapest data prices in the world. However, Indian cities, being super dense, still have huge challenges in terms of coverage, capacity, and throughput. As per analysts, India has around 65 to 70% of smartphones. However, PC penetration is still 10 to 12%. Inferring that most of the internet is being consumed through mobile data, which is often marred by poor coverage resulting in broken sessions and throughput issues. To realize the dream of Digital India, it is crucial to provide internet access to the people who are underserved or unserved. And all technologies and stakeholders need to play their role in extending the cost-effective internet to masses. The public Wi-Fi has a pivotal role in this mission to reduce the digital gap. FTTH connection, we all know that is still hovering around 3 to 4% of pan-India broadband customers. Higher speed internet access is limited to urban areas, semi-urban areas, and rural areas are still struggling with lower speeds and broken internet. The number of public Wi-Fi hotspots in India are significantly, I repeat this, significantly lower as compared to the emerging economies of the world. And Viksit Bharat needs a greater push for cost-effective internet for masses so that they feel connected and they feel empowered. The FTTH connection will continue to have struggle because the cost of wiring the homes and extending the fiber to homes will always be a challenge. To keep pace with the rest of the world and ensure that every citizen gets high-speed broadband, Bharat needs a substantial increase in public Wi-Fi. And to take data consumption to 30 GB and 50 million public Wi-Fi hotspots by 2030, as envisioned by Government of India, huge investments are required for Wi-Fi hotspots in far-flung areas and semi-urban areas. There are many advantages of connecting Bharat. The digital inclusion includes an inclusive economic growth, the online education, remote working, and online healthcare services are few examples of how do we leverage the Bharat connection. Personally, I feel proud to spearhead the Wi-Fi massification program, wherein RailTel as an organization under the parental control of Indian Railways scaled up 400 railway stations Wi-Fi to 600 plus stations in less than 2.5 years of time. And that too, major of the time was in the COVID time. Today, our station Wi-Fi runs across all the railway stations, railway tracks, and we are covering railway stations right from Rameshwaram to Baramulla and from Goa to Guwahati. We are one of the largest single integrated public Wi-Fi across the world, which is being used by 1.5 crore unique customers every month. But the real challenge is still the capex as well as the self-sustainability of public Wi-Fi. The expansion of public Wi-Fi is essential for India's digital transformation, and it is imperative to focus on developing a robust Wi-Fi infrastructure to ensure that the masses get the cheap internet services also. However, support from Government of India is required to take internet to countryside and to the people who are poorly connected, to make them feel digitally connected as well as empowered. Miles covered, miles to go. Thank you all.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for the context setting for the day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the proud privilege in inviting Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President BIF, to kindly give the welcome address. Sir, yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Chief Guest Professor Abhay Karandikar, sir, and all you distinguished gentlemen on the dais. It gives me great pleasure to be with you all today, albeit I do apologize very profusely for being unable to be there physically. Some exigencies have held me up, otherwise I would have been there by now with you all. I got stuck up in California, so I'm talking to you from there. But I'm there in spirit, if not in flesh. I wish you all the best on the World Wi-Fi Day. Year after year, we have been celebrating World Wi-Fi Day in Broadband India Forum because we are completely passionate about Wi-Fi and what it can do for India. The earlier speakers, stalwarts like my colleague treasurer, Shri Satyan Gupta ji, Chairman of our Wi-Fi Committee, Mr. Manoj Tandon, They've all explained to you the greatness of Wi-Fi, what it can do, what it can deliver to the common man. And if we are all committed to broadband for all, I think there is no doubt about it, each and every one of us are with government and with the regulator in working for broadband for all. If that is so, then such broadband for all, which means effectively affordability of broadband, can only come through Wi-Fi. Mobile networks are very good, indispensable, but they have a niche. It cannot be that it can cater to everything. There are certain constraints in RF engineering, and one needs Wi-Fi for that. That's what the entire world has seen. And we have got tremendous potential in this regard in India. We are only about 0.5% of the penetration and availability of public Wi-Fi as per world norms, what world has got. And that is what the Honorable PM brought out in his March vision for 6G, which my great friend Shri Robert Ravi would later talk about, since he is heading the 6G initiative of the government. That 6G would need about 50 million hotspots. So that is the scope for entrepreneurship in India in Wi-Fi and delivering what the common man needs. And here, what we have in India, thanks to the great government and regulatory initiative, is something which is globally unique, which was referred to earlier by Mr. Satyan Gupta and also, I think, Mr. Manoj Tandon, about PM Vani. That's a globally unique system, and that gives a sort of seamless connectivity between public Wi-Fi hotspots and make them eminently usable. In fact, we in Broadband India Forum, we refer to PM Vani as the UPI of telecom. We're all familiar with UPI. We would not be anywhere in payments today if we did not have UPI. And veritably, the UPI of telecom is PM Vani. That has got to be leveraged fully. And with the way the data growth is going to happen, like the Americans say, we ain't seen nothing yet. We think 19.5 GB per user per month is high. Please relax. As we switch more and more into fixed broadband, and that's where we are going in India also, and the world is going, the world has found that the usage per connection, per fixed connection per month can zoom up to 600 to 700, which is what the USA is experiencing today. So if you imagine that level of usage, you need Wi-Fi, and that too not the normal run-of-the-mill Wi-Fi. You need modern Wi-Fi, powerful Wi-Fi. We have come in mobile networks up to 5G, and we are all very proud of that. We are now knocking on the doors of 6G. But in Wi-Fi, we have remained a bit of a laggard. We have not kept up with the modernity. Today, the modern Wi-Fi means Wi-Fi 6E or Wi-Fi 7. And Wi-Fi 7 can actually give you results like 5G. That low latency and that high bandwidth, in fact, much more reliability than 5G. And you would all be very proud to know that today, some of the first chips of Wi-Fi 7 were shipped from India by none other than HFCL. And so India is at the forefront on Wi-Fi 7. We need to introduce that in India. We have to reap the benefits of that for the common man in urban as well as the rural areas. Like my earlier speakers pointed out, it's not that urban areas are lagging in dark zones. Satyanji pointed out that urban areas are having thousands of dark zones. So we need only Wi-Fi to penetrate that. So these are bringing out the great criticality of more of Wi-Fi and ultra fast for India to zoom along on the digital highway. Having said that, I would now like to go on to my limited role, which was supposed to be only to introduce the chief guest. We are so delighted, honored to have Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST, today with us. He has a very hectic schedule. In fact, he has to rush off a bit sharp by 11:30. He has to be in the car because he's got a meeting at 12 o'clock. And he's come only because of his passion for rural connectivity and Wi-Fi connectivity. Like earlier referred to, he is a veritable father of Wi-Fi in India. And so we are very, very greatly lucky in having him today. You could not have hoped for a better chief guest for today than him, a more appropriate chief guest. You all know of Professor Abhay Karandikar. He is currently the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, you know that. And he is not only that, he is the most distinguished luminary of multifarious accomplishments, not just being Secretary of a very crucial department, Science and Technology. Before joining as Secretary DST in October 23, till that time, he was Director of IIT Kanpur for 5 years, and before that he was professor in IIT Bombay, where he was Dean Faculty Affairs and head of the Electrical Engineering Department of IIT. He has spearheaded many great national initiatives, and one great national initiative effort was in setting up the Telecom Standards Development Society of India, TSDSI, what we call the TSO of India. That's a India standards body, and he has helped set it up. He was the one of the very few people who led the initiative to set it up, and he was also chairman of that for some time. He was a founding member, and then later he became chairman. He has also been member of the TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. So he's got experience in regulatory work also. He's got academic expertise, he's got research experience, he's got now administrative experience of Department of Science and Technology. My God, he's just, like I said, so many accomplishments, so many multivariate accomplishments. And in research, he has got untold number of patents issued and pending, contributions to IEEE, the world's apex organization for standards, and 3GPP standards, contributed chapters in books and large numbers of papers in the international journals. Yes, numerous conferences to his credit. He was also, I'm very proud to say, he was awarded IEEE Essays Standards Medallion in December 2016 in New Jersey. In fact, I think he's in that Hall of Fame. Professor Abhayji's unparalleled expertise in Wi-Fi and rural initiatives is thus known far and wide. And like I said earlier, we could not have found a more fitting, more eminent person to be chief guest on this annual World Wi-Fi Day than Professor Abhayji. Thank you, Professor, sir, for having been so kind as to spare time, to squeeze time out of your schedule to be with us for a few minutes today. I warmly welcome him and request him to come forward and give his inaugural address, and request you all, ladies and gentlemen, to join me in welcoming him with a standing ovation. Standing ovation.
So, requesting Anil Tandon sir to kindly present a floral bouquet to our honorable chief guest. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for sparing your time and being here with us.
Thank you very much. And I think I would like to, first of all, also thank Dr. T.V. Ramachandran for this very elaborate introduction. First of all, let me congratulate the Broadband India Forum and all the colleagues here who have been celebrating the World Wi-Fi Day every year to remind us of the remarkable impact that the Wi-Fi technology has made in the broadband penetration all over the world. And I have been participating in this World Wi-Fi Day in all my capacities, as was mentioned by Dr. Ramachandran, right from the day when I was a professor at IIT Bombay. As was mentioned just before my talk, that Bharat 6G vision, and I think Rajesh Pathak is here, has outlined the vision of a very ambitious target of the public Wi-Fi hotspots in the country. In fact, we have been on every fora and in every meetings and in every year. We have been discussing this aspect now for several years, that Wi-Fi is the key to provide the affordable broadband connectivity, and in India will still continue to lag behind the public Wi-Fi hotspots penetration in a significant manner that we would like to be. Despite, several efforts taken by the government and also by the operators, which is like PM Vani, which was mentioned earlier, availability of more spectrum in the unlicensed mode. Despite that, still the penetration continues to be below expectations that sort of we need. The Wi-Fi technology has also come of age, has evolved over the years from the late 90s in the form of 802.11ab standard to now, Wi-Fi 6, which is 11ax. And as Dr. Ramachandran was talking about, Wi-Fi 7, which is 11BE. And also, the work has begun on 11BN, which will be Wi-Fi 8 and which will be available, in by the end of 2029 or 2030 time frames. And that has significantly enhanced the throughput that is available in the Wi-Fi. And now in Wi-Fi 7, we are talking of several orders of magnitude of throughputs, tens of gigabits. And in Wi-Fi 8, we will talk of terabits throughputs, which is almost now making Wi-Fi like a wireless fiber connectivity. And that can truly provide, the broadband connectivity. The other aspect of the Wi-Fi control also nicely fits with the 3GPP 5G's enhanced mobile broadband usage scenario, where all the enhanced mobile broadband usage for the fixed cases nicely blends, with the Wi-Fi 6 and the Wi-Fi 7 characteristics. However, I think, as I mentioned, despite all the advancements in the standards and the availability of the spectrum, there continues to be challenge. And one of the challenges has been, particularly in the Indian context, has been the availability of ubiquitous backhaul or the fiber availability in order to have a large-scale proliferation of the Wi-Fi hotspots in every areas, and as the dead spots that was mentioned. So I think there is, therefore, there is clearly a need in terms of a public Wi-Fi hotspot to provide the affordable backhaul in some fashion. Now, in this context, I think the organizations such as Railtel can play a significant role where they can have the availability of fibers along the railway tracks, and one could definitely use that infrastructure to provide a network of Wi-Fi hotspots which can provide the connectivity to ins and arounds places. We also feel that, the Wi-Fi 6 can become an important solution for in-building coverages inside the malls and other things where the connectivity from the mobile may not be possible to reach, and that is where, as a small cell or as a hotspot, this can nicely blend with the broadband connectivity of the 5G. Now, that of course also require from the carrier grade deployment to have an integrated controller at the operator's end, which can actually provide the seamless handoff from the mobile broadband like 5G to the Wi-Fi. And I think some work is really needed in this direction to provide a seamless handoff where we are still not there, where, without sort of a call break or without a connection, TCP connection break, you can have seamlessly handoff to the Wi-Fi. So I think what I would say that while, we have made significant progress, but I think we really need to identify some of the niche areas like in buildings, inside malls, along the railway tracks and every other places where there is an easy availability of the fiber backhaul. We should be able to drop the public Wi-Fi hotspots at those places in order to increase the broadband penetration and an integration of the Wi-Fi networks with the 5G eMBB use cases in a converged core where we can have an integrated control of both the Wi-Fi and the 5G technology. I think with a combination of the commoditization of the Wi-Fi access points and the routers and the controllers, we do believe that both the Wi-Fi 6 and in the upcoming Wi-Fi 7 holds a lot of promise in realizing the vision of providing large-scale, affordable broadband connectivity, which, as all of you know, and I don't have to reiterate, that is imminent in today's world for whether it is for education or whether it is for finance or whether it is for agriculture or whether it is for health or transportations. It is a must infrastructure. In summary, I would like to once again compliment the efforts of the Broadband India Forum for their tireless and unending dedication to advancing the cause of broadband connectivity in our country. And I think together we hope that we will strive towards a future where the various forms of the Wi-Fi along with the cellular mobile broadband connectivity like 5G and maybe the upcoming beyond 5G and 6G can serve as a catalyst for the socio-economic transformation in the country and empowering every Indian with the tools that they really need to thrive in the digital age, also bridging the digital divide in providing the access to the broadband connectivity. So once again, I would like to thank Broadband India Forum for inviting me and for making me a part of this program. And I hope that in the coming years, we can take efforts in providing a more ubiquitous backhaul fiber broadband connectivity for the proliferation of the public Wi-Fi hotspot and availability of more spectrum in the unlicensed regime for a greater proliferation. So I think with these two things, I'm sure we will be able to provide the broadband connectivity at the price point that the India needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. May I now request Dr. S.N. Gupta, sir, to kindly do the honors of presenting a small token of gratitude and appreciation to Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Abhay Karandikar. Thank you very much indeed, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, as already informed by TV, sir,
architecture of Wi-Fi is there. VY. It is called VY and Jam.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Karandikar has some pressing commitments to meet. But before he leaves us, may I request all our dignitaries on the dais to kindly come together for a group photograph. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Thank you once again, sir, for sparing your time and being here with us. We're indeed grateful to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, now as we delve deeper into the technical advancements and industry perspectives, it is my honor to introduce Mr. Hiral Modi, who is a leading figure in technical product and program management with a focus on wireless and careers at Meta. He has 16 years of experience in multinational companies across the telecommunications industry, including Microsoft, LG, and Motorola, and his expertise in driving innovation and fostering partnerships is shaping the future of wireless technology. So please welcome Mr. Modi, Technical Product and Program Management, Wireless Carriers, Meta, for an enlightening industry address.
Good morning, everyone. I was just told that I have 5 minutes instead of 20 before Sir leaves, so I'm going to run through real quick some of the key points, and then maybe once he leaves, if you have more time, I'll walk you through my original agenda that I had. My name is Hiral Modi. I'm part of Reality Lab within Meta. I belong engineering, so a lot of my slides that you will walk through is about technology, about the technical challenges that we are trying to solve. By end of this presentation, you will hear Meta's vision, what we are building, where the ecosystem is heading, what are our technical challenges, what are some of the wireless solutions we have, and most importantly, what's world's view on next generation of Wi-Fi networks. As you know, we are in the world of building connection. These are all the technologies that we build. I think you guys are familiar with that, so I'll quickly go through the next slide. Quick introduction of AR, VR. This is your physical world. This is Yosemite National Park in US. Imagine you're driving through it. Now, this is a virtual world that created based on that. If you're not able to drive through that, but if you still want to visit, now instead of visiting in your car, you want to visit in a rocket-like car. We created a rocket-like car, right? So that's the virtual world. Now let's talk about augmented reality. This is your actual world. Now you see your trip information pulling up right in front of you. We are augmenting your physical world. That's called augmented reality. In both of these scenarios, it's never about replacing your physical world. It's about making your physical world better or more immersive. This is where we are today, right? We have the mixed reality headset that you will see in the next room. We have a lot of demos, but here is here's the Quest 3 device that we launched last year. Top of the glass mixed reality device that we have. AI, whole world is going gaga over AI. Probably all of you know that. We launched Llama 3 probably a couple months ago. And then we have this next generation of smart glasses in partnership with Ray-Ban Meta. What I want to walk through next real quick is some of the technical details of this device that we are building. As you can see up here, it is high resolution color pass-through. What pass-through means is when you are outside of your physical boundary of this VR, you will see your surrounding, this physical room. In our previous generation of devices, you will see black and white. Now you see color. So you see your surrounding in color, and that's the mixed reality that you will see in color pass-through. Next we have is the enhanced hand tracking. So you could, instead of a controller, this device comes with a controller, but you could use your hand for the gestures, you can use your hands for input, and you don't need the controllers anymore. Auto space setup. So it's a guardian setup. When you go into VR, it will ask you to set up a boundary. So once you go outside the boundary, it basically tells you your safety warning. So you don't run into the wall, you don't run into the object. The initial way of doing that was physically. Now it detects your room with the camera and it sets up the boundary on your own. Of course, this comes with the Wi-Fi 6E. One of the key points that I want to highlight is when these VR devices came along, everybody thought it's a gaming device. But within the last year or two, we have announced MetaWorks, which is our B2B solution for enterprises. More than 900 enterprises using these solutions to make their collaboration better, more immersive. We announced VR for education last year. Students, teachers across the world are using. Immersive learning is the next way of learning. We also announced a travel mode where you can take this device on the plane. You can do a lot of stuff while you are on the plane. So this is becoming a next computing device and a platform and not just a gaming device anymore. Here is one quick video I want to walk you through. These are my team members designing the next generation of VR headset. They have this CAD diagram. Usually the CAD diagram shows up on a 2D computer screen and you walk through that. Now imagine how it's showing up in 3D. Every single part of my VR headset showing up in front of me in 3D. I'm in the same room. We call it co-location with my different engineering team, and we are working on designing the next generation of VR headset. So if you quickly walk through that, this is a Caddy app. This person is remote, so it's not just co-location within same room, but you can do it remotely as well. You can even take notes, like this is a 2 millimeter, you can measure. This is a cross-section view of the actual device that you can see. You can do number of permutation combinations. For example, I don't like this part, I want to change this part. Imagine building actual physical hardware with these many permutation combinations. It takes thousands and thousands of dollars. With this, I could do as many permutation combination design changes that I want, and I can see the results in real time. Next, I want to walk you through our next generation of Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Before I do that, I usually put them on. That way I look a little bit more cooler. So I'll put them on. These are our Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses. It has the 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. It allows me to capture. It allows me to take photos. It allows me to take videos. It has amazing speakers. What they do is it allows you to play music. It allows you to take your phone calls. One of the really good feature about this is the safety and awareness. When you have your both earbuds plugged into your ears, you don't hear your surrounding. With this, you can hear your calls, music, but you are aware of your surrounding as well. And that makes it way more safer than having your earbuds plugged into your ears. Mic is super important. When you're taking a phone call, for example, on a windy beach, the noise of the wind makes it super hard for the other party to hear you. When you give it a voice command, it takes amazing voice commands, and I'll give you a live demo of that. It needs to hear you loud and clear. So the 5 microphone array that we have, it allows you to suppress that wind noise in the open surrounding, and it just picks up your noise and make sure the other party hears it well. Even this device hears it well. Okay, for the VR device, I showed you a demo which was a video. Okay, that's a little boring. So we're gonna make it real time. I'm gonna show you a real time demo of this device that I have. Some of the good feature of this device is I already mentioned taking photos, videos, listening to music, audio. Also, you could do live stream. For example, a lot of these days, we would like to do a live stream. Either we are cooking, we are at a concert, we are at a beach. We want to share those moments with our friends and family. What do? We take our phones out. And we usually live stream through this. Either we do a Facebook Live or you do an Instagram Live. But now imagine you can share your point of view through this. What you are seeing, you are sharing with your friends and family. Another super cool thing that we have is a multimodal AI. Like I talked about, the whole world is going gaga over AI. If I ask a weather, it will tell me the weather. But that's very basic. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see what I'm seeing and tell me what I'm seeing. For example, I go into a different country and I see a monument. I don't know history. It will tell me about that. It can do a live translation for me. It can give me a fashion advice. I go shopping, I see a nice pair of shirt. I say, okay, tell me what goes well with that. And it will tell me, okay, these color jeans, these color shoes. It is your very curated AI agent. So let's give it a shot and see if it works. On stage demos are always a little tricky, but I'm going to give it a shot and see if it works. Hey, Meta, look and tell me what I'm seeing. So it took a photo, you saw the privacy light, sends it back to my...
You're seeing a group of people sitting in an audience, possibly at a conference or seminar.
Tell me more.
It appears to be a conference or seminar with many people seated and facing the front of the room.
Very cool. Let's give it a shot and see. Okay, I'm going to pick up this object. Hey, Meta. Hey, Meta. Look and tell me what this is. Took a photo.
This is a water bottle.
Tell me more.
It's a clear glass bottle with a label on it, being held up in front of an audience.
It detects the background as well, not just the foreground, right? Let's take it a step further. This is a menu. It's in Spanish. Unfortunately, I cannot read it. I travel the world. I always struggle. So let's see if this can help me. Hey, Meta. Look and tell me the spiciest item from the menu. Took a photo. Sends it back to my llama.
The spiciest item on the menu is likely pulpo a la parrilla, which means grilled octopus.
Viral, can you ask you look and tell me which vegetarian item in the menu?
We could try. Okay, let's try. Hey, Meta. Look and tell me what's vegetarian from the menu.
Vegetarian options from the menu include ensalada de arugula, ensalada de aguacate, tostadas de atún tuna salad, and puree de papa.
There you go. Okay, let me quickly show you the live streaming feature that I was talking about. So what I'm going to do is you can turn this off. Band kar dijiye. I'm going to call my other phone. Put it on mute. So there is no echo. And I'll share the screen with you. Right now what you're seeing is this my phone camera. My phone camera is focused on my face. You see my face up there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my point of view. If it works.
Glasses camera is active.
There you go. Now I'm seeing all of you through my glasses. You are seeing my point of view. That's the other party. Imagine that's you on the other part of the world. You are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay? All right. Live demo, it worked. Today the demo was with me, so I'm very grateful. Okay. I lost my clicker somewhere. Yes, that's right. Can we go to the next slide, please? I lost my clicker somewhere. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, I'll just do this. There you go. Next we have is, what you saw so far was everything Meta. Next, what we have is a Meta Horizon OS. We have been building these devices for quite some time. We are by far the leader. But it's not about Meta, it's about the world. We have opened up the Meta Horizon OS, the OS that we build our VR devices with, to the world. Imagine how Android works, right? Anybody can pick up Android and build devices. That's what Meta Horizon OS does. Now we have already partnered with other OEMs who are building VR devices using Meta Horizon OS. So we are growing the ecosystem, making it open and growing the ecosystem widely so that the other players, other regions, other countries can build their own specific devices. Now let me walk you through some of the technical challenges, and these are the technical challenges not for Meta, but like I just told you, we opened up the ecosystem. These are the ecosystem challenges that we have. What do you see up there is SWaP-C. SWaP-C stands for size, weight, power, cost. These are my biggest challenges when I build devices. Okay, latency. Obviously, how many of you have used VR headset and got dizzy? If I ask you to show off your hand, say, okay, I got dizzy, I see few hands. I see few hands. The prime factor for dizziness is latency. When your photon to motion latency is different than what your mind perceives, you get dizzy. So latency is a prime factor to make you dizzy. The last but not the least, QoE, which is quality of experience overall, right? End-to-end experience in a congested network. How do I solve for that high bandwidth, low latency application? So having a consistent quality of experience is one of the biggest challenge. How do I go about solving those challenges? Wireless plays a key role in solving those challenges. One of the feedback that I get from teachers, from hospital, from doctors, from students, this device is too heavy. When you guys get a chance, hold it. I agree with them. I cannot keep this on for more than an hour or 2 hours. Now imagine we wanting student to learn on this for 8 hours. It's not possible. If I want to reduce the size of my device, if I want to reduce the cost of my device, what I have to do is offload my compute, either to a local computer, eventually to a cloud. Once I offload my compute, I don't need a very powerful GPU, I don't need high resolution, very powerful batteries. All I need is a dumb 3D display. All my compute rendering is happening on the cloud. When I offload all those things to a cloud, that's when the weight goes down, that's where the price goes down. Now let's talk about the smart glasses. I think there is a very general notion that Wi-Fi is indoor. That's not true anymore, and I'll tell you why. You see these sunglasses that I showed you? These are the next generation of computing device. The vision that we have is someday is going to replace your phone. Everything that you can do with your phones, those glasses will be able to do it. When I take these glasses out on the street, my connectivity options for the glasses are either I connect from that glass to a phone or I have a watch. And then either my watch or phone connects to my cellular. So what this tells me is both of them are equally important. If I have my local link, very strong Wi-Fi 67, but my connection to 5G sucks, it's useless. What this tells you is cellular as well as Wi-Fi are equally important. However, the link that I have between, imagine all of you having a phone instead of that having a glass, and that link is 5 gigahertz link or a 2.4 gigahertz link. It's not possible to use those many devices in such a surrounding on a 5 gigahertz link. I'm sure all of you will ask, why don't you put cellular directly on the glass itself? Why do you need to put it on the phone or a watch? Just do this. Have a 5G modem on your glass, connect it directly to the base station. What it does is, my battery, when I put a 5G modem, I have a tiny, tiny form factor. Look at this. This is where my battery lies. And if I need to give you an all-day battery life with this, it's not possible. Next is this antenna size. My real estate on this, super small. These sunglasses are no different than what you wear all day, right? The idea is still the same, still sexy. We want people to wear it. The third one, we don't want them to get hot. You're wearing sunglasses out in the sun. If I have my 5G modem, the thermal solution gets impossible. So putting a 5G modem directly on the glass, we don't think it's technically possible. Not at least for next few years. Wi-Fi 6G helps me with everything. I think all of you know, it gives me capacity, it gives me the latency that I need, it gives me the throughput that I need, and it helps me with the thermal because it has a shorter duty cycle, right? If I need something, some data, I open up the channel, I shut off my Wi-Fi radio really quick. It helps me with the thermal as well. You guys know the benefits. I'm gonna quickly go over the next one where the world is going. This is the world view of where the Wi-Fi 6 is already enabled in some capacity. More than 30% of the world's GDP already have opened up some part of the Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz band. If you think about the countries that are considering opening this band, it goes beyond 70%. And this is not a one country, one region phenomena. This is not a US only thing, or an Asia only thing, or a Europe only thing. All across the world, countries are making decisions. They are opening up these bands, and I'll tell you why they are doing that. I think some of these numbers were shown out earlier. There are more than 807 million Wi-Fi 6E devices out there. If you don't have the band open, you cannot use those devices. There are several 100 million 6E access points. I think one of you mentioned the first Wi-Fi 7. I think Mr. TV Ramachandran mentioned Wi-Fi 7 was built here, but we cannot use here. Look at the trend. If you look at this, Wi-Fi 6E is on the downtrend when you go to 28. Wi-Fi 6E is going up, Wi-Fi 7 is going up. Eventually, I think Professor mentioned in 2030, we'll have Wi-Fi 8. If you want to use all of these devices, if you want our GDP to grow, we have to open up the band. This is my last slide. There is this conference called WRC. All of you being in this industry, I'm sure you are aware of it. It's called World Radio Conference, happens every 4 years, like Olympics. It's the Olympics of wireless. Every single country on the planet and their policymakers comes to one location and talk about future of wireless. This happened last November in Dubai. It's a marathon conference, happens over 5 weeks. This is the closing remarks. They said, it's your decision. There is no global consensus. Every country make your own decision. Usually, there is a global consensus, but it is very fragmented. In a way, every country should make their own decision. Countries are making those decisions. You saw the map earlier that I showed you. We are running a trial in Thailand to do the 6 gigahertz over hospital because they are using the VR headset, and US is funding that trial. So, my request to you, we don't need to study it anymore. Enough studies have been done. Now is the time to act on it so that we are not left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward, we are excited to welcome a stalwart in the realm of connectivity and digital infrastructure, Mr. Pranav Nehru, the Chief Operating Officer at Atria Convergence Technologies Limited. He's a seasoned leader with more than 23 years of experience, having grown through the ranks in reputed organizations such as Hutch, Vodafone, Samsung, Electronics, and Rivigo. With his strategic vision and leadership, Mr. Nehru has been at the forefront of delivering exceptional broadband services. So let's give a warm round of applause as we invite Mr. Nehru to present the industry address.
To own a customer today, I have to go and buy this glasses. It's my privilege to address such an august gathering of honorable officials, industry leaders, valued guests, and my dear industry colleagues on this special occasion of World Wi-Fi Day. Wi-Fi has become the cornerstone of connectivity, empowering individuals and businesses alike, thanks to its accessibility and reliability. Fixed broadband acts as the backbone of the global economy, contributes globally greater than 80% of the traffic, though the mobile numbers from a count of customer base is high, but 25% of the broadband users globally contribute to around 75% plus data traffic. At Act FiberNet, we are proud to be strong enablers and part of this industry, driving innovation and collaboration to help grow and build this industry. We at ACT has 2 million plus subscribers today, and we have deployed greater than 5,000 public Wi-Fi hotspots in collaboration with the government. I will take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the authorities also for demonstrating remarkable speed and agility in decision-making and implementing multiple initiatives that foster industry growth. Wi-Fi is not just about connectivity anymore. It's about creating opportunities. It has opened doors to remote work, online education, telemedicine, e-commerce, and what our friend from Meta showed. It's transforming lives and businesses. We all witness this technology has especially been a game changer during the global pandemic we all faced, ensuring that life and work could continue to seamlessly work despite physical distances. Looking forward, the future of Wi-Fi holds immense promise, creating new opportunities and transforming how we interact with the world. As India continues to lead in digital transformation, we are poised to leverage these advancements to further bridge the digital divide and empower communities. At ACT FiberNet, our commitment to the innovation is unwavering. We are investing in next generation technologies to enhance the Wi-Fi experience. Recently, we did a strategic investment in a young startup which excels in network intelligence, giving a greater experience to customers with wider coverage and ensuring reliable speeds. As we commemorate the World Wi-Fi Day today, let us affirm our commitment to excellence, innovation, and inclusivity. Together, let us continue to collaborate and innovate, paving the way for the connected future that leaves no one behind. Before I stop my talk today, I want us all to remember the world is changing faster than we ever imagined. We all know Uber changed the way a cab was being booked 10 years back. Wi-Fi is a superpower. Most aspects of our life depends on it. We all, as industry leaders, industry participants, have a responsibility. India's data traffic usage remains amongst the highest in the world with CAGR of 53% in the last 3 years. In today's digital era, connectivity is the key. Name any large Fortune 10 companies, including Meta, Alphabet. Everybody relies on a consistent, strong, reliable Wi-Fi internet service. India is an unprecedented opportunity. India is the fastest growing digital economy in the world. 2 months back, there was an article and a statement by our ex-Union Minister who said that our digital economy is growing at 2.8x time of our current GDP. Broadband usage is surging, driving marketplaces. The question which we all need to address and answer is, are we all geared up for the next phase of growth? Are we doing enough in terms of innovation, in terms of technology, in terms of expansion, in terms of killing the digital divide, infrastructure, and Make in India? Let us continue to work together towards a future where connectivity enriches lives and empowers communities. Thank you very much.
And now set to hear from a key policy maker in the telecommunications sector, Mr. Ravi A. Robert Gerard, Deputy Director General SRI at the Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications. His efforts in regulatory initiatives have played a crucial role in shaping the telecom landscape. So please welcome Mr. Gerard as he shares his insights and addresses with the August House.
Thank you. Dignitaries on the dais, and I think I again, once again, thank the AF for arranging this conference. As the Secretary DST was telling, even I was also closely associated almost every year in some form or other, this Wi-Fi day. It's really, when we talk about Wi-Fi, is always, everybody has passion towards it, because when you go to our homes or our places, it's only Wi-Fi. Right from the start of the 1999, when we started about the 802.11a onwards, till now we talk about B. There's a lot of transition. I've been closely working with A, actually, when we were trying to do V5.2 on the FTTH. How do we take the last leg of the Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi is the really, because of the speed. But one critical factor that was always a point of worry was its security. And we are glad in Wi-Fi 7, we are WPA4. I think 1, then 4, which is more secure than the thing. We now claim an equivalent security aspect. So we are actually reaching a stage in Wi-Fi also where we are going on par with what is happening in the cellular thing. Actually, if we go back a bit of history, we can see that there were principally two types of wireless networks that were going on. One, as we told, the Wi-Fi, which we always link it to our LAN network, the local area network. And the backhaul always used to be the 4G and the 5G, which we always call it as the WAN network. So the synchronization of all this was happening quite some time. And the very important factor of it was the mobile networks, so the 4Gs, up to 4G, I'm not coming to the 5G later, up to the 4G used to have their own core network connected. And your Wi-Fi connects to the internet and any of your other services. Now I think the latest release is IEEE, we're even talking about the NTN coming up, non-terrestrial networks, where we target about even satellite, how do you connect? The satellite communication also goes via internet today. So the current scenario, what we see is we have our normal mobile communication going on a core, and then we have a Wi-Fi going on internet, and we have satellite going on internet. This entire exercise has changed. Fortunately, the complementary technologies of advancement in technology is happening, especially if the 5G comes in. 5G with, again, your Wi-Fi 7 has really become a real complementary in terms of speed. Because when we talk about Wi-Fi, we always talk about speed. Because when you talk, even in way back in 1999, we were talking about 1M. When we were talking about 2G and H, we were again talking about 1M. Today we are talking about Wi-Fi 7, where we talk about 46 gigahertz. And as Professor was mentioning, we are now working on Wi-Fi 8, which is almost parallel to our 6G, what we are working in terms of technology. So where we are thinking about reaching 100G. So you can see the massive amount of thing. So when we talk about speed, Wi-Fi is unbeatable. You have a very good speed coming up. And the Wi-Fi 8, now we are again in 6G, we're going to catch, because 6G is going to be in terahertz. So speed has been caught up. So what are the other factors? The other factors are your security, your latency. Still you have some latency. Latency issue still was a problem in Wi-Fi. But of course, when Wi-Fi 6 came, yes, a lot of initiatives took place. And then by Wi-Fi 7, we had a reasonable amount of, the latency effects have been taken care. When you go, as I think you were seen about this matter, talking about XR, VR, lot of use cases we are thinking about the 6G. We talked about the 6G vision of the country. We have a very big dream. We wanted to see the 6G RAN being developed in the country. We have a real roadmap put on the 6G. But on the 6G stuff, there is a lot of use case applications coming in. Say, for example, let me take one or two. Maybe a connected cars, connected vehicles, or robotic things. For that, the latency is very, very crucial. This has been addressed in what we call the UBR type of W8, your Wi-Fi 7 to some extent addresses. And Wi-Fi 8 will completely make this latency. So when my 6G comes in, your Wi-Fi 8 is going to also marry together, bringing a very near technology of seamless transfer when you go about your mobile to your Wi-Fi. That is going to be a reality which we are seeing, and we are all working to it, not only on the 3GPP side, in the non-3GPP standards, including the IEEE. India is very, very clear on how to put the standards in each of the things. We have a clear roadmap in achieving this. Being said that, when we talk about the core, so what is the essence of it? We have still a lot of work to be done. I think we should try to work more together. We cannot see the up to 6, Wi-Fi 6 here, we have talked about a lot of technologies, other things. Now as we come closer and closer, the 5G actually completely turned the tables around. Where did it change? In the control. Now we are talking about what we call cloudification. I think you're all aware. Cloudification. The data centers are moving into cloudification, which means the operators are moving into clouds. The main core, the 5G core, which we are calling, moves into a cloud. We are talking about more of distributed information that is going on, what we call MEC, mobile edge computing. So even the computing of the mobile even moves further to the devices. And I think Sajay was also talking about blockchain. That's another very important concept of blockchain. Blockchain is also going to be introduced to protect, even in our core and your edges, blockchain in our 6G, which is again taking care of your going to your security. When you're going to have such sort of things all happening together, when the core is unification, now there is a seamless convergence happening on a Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not going to go on an internet directly. It is going through the core now. So you're going to have a marry about any of your technologies. On one end, you have your 5G or your Wi-Fi or even your satellite terminals. All are going to converge into this core on a cloudification. That has happened. How it has happened? Very smoothly it has happened. In release, we have been struggling for a lot. I think Professor made and a lot of people, speakers also talked about. We have been years ahead. Our Wi-Fi hotspots are not picking up. Yeah, that was a challenge. But there is right now a very good opportunity available. I request all team to come down together to work. We can't work in silos. With the Wi-Fi and the mobile team has to work together. How that's happened? I can give you a very quick example. The release 15 was a very, very interesting first turning point that has happened. What was the turning point? When I moved from one of my mobile down, one PDU session, I think you know there's a PDU session. One PDU session I can carry on from one place to another. That was first introduced in release 15. We are very fortunate. Then the next step happened in release 16. Okay, we can allow multi-connectivity. So I can have 2-3 connectivities together going into this network. That was made in 16. And 17 went one step ahead. This is the very most important. We called about the ATSS, where we have the access traffic separation and splitting that is happening. It is one of the most interesting form of the standard that has evolved. The 17 and the 18 of the phase 1 and phase 2 is going to really revolutionize, where you will have a complete seamless connectivity. Whether it is Wi-Fi or your 3G or your 4G, whatever it is, you will have complete seamless connectivity happening at the session level. So you'll have a session management also happening in the core happening. So what I'm trying to explain the scenario is, yes, there was a problem earlier because we are all of us are fond of Wi-Fi, because as I told you, when you go back, it's only Wi-Fi it's working on. These Wi-Fi things are now brought down closely on a 3GPP platform, on a non-3G platform, where a standardization is coming on. Right time, we need to work down together, bring on the modules together, and then I am very sure our target of 60 million, 50 million hotspots could be achieved. Because, going back to our PM1, I was been talking to some of the other service providers the other day. Now, okay, the government put in a system, a framework, the PM1. If there are some issues in it, you need to come up, rectify and change. Change is a model. You can't stick to the old model. If there is something that needs to be changed in this model, please change it and go ahead. Work on. Please don't be telling that it's not workable. Every system is workable. We have to find a workable model. I'll give an example. We attempted this. I told some other service. We attempted this in Andhra Pradesh. We took a sample case. Why this model is working? The PDO and PDOA concept needs to be tweaked a bit. Put the HAP in place. My only sample suggestion is, All of us, we're doing a lot of research and innovations happening. The innovations and research should converge. It should not compete. We should do what you say, compromising things that is happening, that you be not a competing technologies. You should work together and work. If that is not going to happen, it is going to be a real challenge for the country. And we are also closely monitoring. As we have been repeatedly clearly mentioning, we have put a clear roadmap for 6G vision. As I think already mentioned, we came up with the accelerated research program on 6G. I'm glad to say more than 300 universities across the country have participated, and around 471 proposals are being evaluated as we speak. And many of these technologies are mind-boggling technologies. We are talking about fluid cells, fluid antennas, which means, I think, the fluid is a mercury. Using mercury, can I change the antenna pattern? And we are talking about high-res. And even how we can enable, I was telling about the cloudification. Can I make this cloudification more enable user-friendly? Because the 6G is going to be pure distributed architecture. So whether it is Wi-Fi or a mobile, it needs to seamlessly work. There cannot be a competition at all. It has to be working in parallel, and for which we are putting certain work group in force. I can give you 2 more examples before I stop. We opened up the Intelligent Village Forum. I think most of you are aware that we are calling for proposals. The Department of Telecom is calling for proposals for developing what we call intelligent villages. These intelligent villages, the last leg is not possible without your Wi-Fi. So we are telling, can I put an FWA and then a Wi-Fi and I have a connectivity? A real intelligent village. An intelligent village means it tells me about the soil temperature, the nutrient, what is happening, what is CCTV, what is happening in the particular village, and what is my crop pattern, what is my area of produce today, what is my fertilizer consumption today, what is my water consumption. Every data is captured and put on a dashboard. We are dreaming of developing such intelligent villages, at least 10 such villages in the first go. I request all of you, come down together to take an intelligent village, one of these villages, put your own thing, and then see how this seamless transfer from your mobile to your Wi-Fi is happening. Put a research group, have innovations done. We will be glad to fund that. And then we come up with clear idea. But we have a roadmap. As I mentioned, we are very short of time. 18 months roadmap, we need to complete it. I can give you another example. With that, I can end up. Whatever I was been mentioning so far is all been tested. I'm not talking just what put on paper, what has happened. We have tested it. There is a place, I think, if somebody is from the south of Andhra Pradesh, there is a place called Noormadi. Noormadi is a village, typical village, very far away, without no connectivity. We brought out a very interesting novel example of how I can put a balloon there. So we put a balloon with small BTS, and then we are up and flying. We were covering maybe 2-3 kilometers around of these villages. And the first thing we tested was only Wi-Fi. We were able to get speeds up to 10 M. Now, this last leg of your connectivity, merge it with your converge. Because as I told you, the core is going to common now. No longer your Wi-Fi is going through an internet. It is a mix and match. Especially with Wi-Fi 7, you have the multi-level operator, which means you have 2.4 or 5 or 6. All are 3 together available with. So with this, I'm sure our dream of achieving our 6G vision will be a mission, not only through the telecom operators, the 5G network or the 6G network we talk. It is going to be a marry about the 6G plus the Wi-Fi 7 and 8 we talk about. Thank you.
Jairaj sir has to take leave. I would request Dr. S.N. Gupta to kindly do the honors of presenting a token of gratitude to sir. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Shri Sanjeev Kumar Sharma, DDG Department of Telecommunications, Ministry of Communications, is a senior government officer with Government of India, having more than 28 years of experience. His experience ranges widely from telecom regulations, telecom operations, and development of the cellular mobile networks from scratch, organization restructuring, licensing, and telecom policy formulations. So let's put our hands together to welcome welcome our guest of honor for his address.
All the esteemed panelists on the dais, Mr. S.K. Marwa, Manoj Tandon ji, Pranav Nehru, Hiral Modi, S.N. Gupta ji, Anil Tandon ji, and I'm not sure whether TVR is still online or not, but my friend TV Ramchandran, the Pitama of the telecom sector. So I keep joking with him. Ladies and gentlemen, all distinguished delegates, attendees, a very good morning to all of you. At the outset, let me wish Broadband India Forum for organizing this event, and also each one of you a very happy World Wi-Fi Day. And with that wishes, the question comes that why are we celebrating this World Wi-Fi Day? Why do we need to celebrate? And for that, I'll just say that imagine yourself at home. And obviously, the moment you imagine yourself at home, you won't imagine yourself doing some daily chores. I'm sure not. So you will imagine yourself sitting at home. The first thing would be maybe your mobile will be in your hand, or maybe your TV remote is in your hand, you're watching the TV, or maybe you're listening to music. So all these devices, whatever you are doing, your entertainment, and going forward with IoT, your even televisions, your air conditioners, so everything I think was going to be connected. And when it's going to be connected, it's not going to be the wire or the optical fiber cable. It is going to be Wi-Fi. It is Wi-Fi. It is going to be Wi-Fi. And therefore, a technology that has become integral part of our life needs to be celebrated. Eminent speakers before me have already covered a lot of things, and especially Dr. Robert Ravi has given the perspective of the department from the technical point of view. I will try to touch upon something which he has not covered. We all know that advantage of Wi-Fi is in terms of easy operations, ease of maintenance, low cost, and ubiquitous availability. And it has gained prominence in recent terms where that, offloading of data from the mobile to Wi-Fi has also taken place. And fixed to mobile convergence has also helped in proliferation of Wi-Fi. Today, when we are sitting at home and trying to make calls, it's not the mobile, generally in-house, it's not the mobile that connectivity that is coming. It's generally a VoLTE call or VoIP call through Wi-Fi only that we are making. Globally, there are a lot of public Wi-Fi hotspots which run in millions. In India, we still have a large way to go. But I would like to say here is that, you cannot compare India with other Western countries, because that will not be an apple-to-apple comparison. For two things. One, somehow when we leap forward into the technological march and we adopted mobile technology even faster than the wireline technology, our data rates actually were one of the lowest in the world. They still are. And the reason why in the Western world the public Wi-Fi hotspots have picked up largely is because of high data rates. When my daughter was studying in US, she was having a plan where she gets 3 to 4 GB for $25 to $30. And I think Hiral will also say that probably, until unless you are bundling it with a handset, generally the plans are in that range, $20 to $30, you get just 3 to 4 GB of data. That's not the case in India. And therefore, generally, even if we have a privilege of, being in the Wi-Fi hotspot, we continue to use our mobile data if the coverage is there. Only when the coverage is a problem, then the Wi-Fi hotspots come into picture. And there I see a lot of opportunity going forward because of use of higher bands for 5G and forthcoming 6G technology. The in-building coverage is going to be a problem because those waves cannot penetrate that easily inside your houses or inside your commercial spaces. And there, the in-building solutions or Wi-Fi hotspots are going to gain prominence. And therefore, from the policy perspective also, we have to have a look at these aspects. I have the privilege, in fact, all three of us who were probably representing Department of Telecommunications and DST, Professor Dr. Abhay Karandikar, Dr. Robert Ravi, and myself, we both have, all three of us have worked in TRAI, the regulator, sectoral regulator. So I have that privilege of working in with the regulator also and with the licensor also. And TRAI has realized that, going forward, that in-building coverage will be an issue with the mobile technologies operating in higher bands. And they have come out with the recommendations where the rating of the buildings will be carried out based on their digital connectivity infrastructure that is present there. And part of the digital connectivity infrastructure also include Wi-Fi in those buildings. That's a very exhaustive recommendation, and I think TRAI is also making regulation on rating of those buildings. And I see that once these things are in place, there will be a lot of proliferation of Wi-Fi hotspots within the building spaces also. As far as technological developments are concerned, I think a lot of speakers have talked about, we are already using Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7 is in pipeline, and also Wi-Fi 8 is coming. All these technological developments sometimes pose challenges to the licensors, regulators, policymakers when they start, competing in the same space, or they start competing for the same spectrum. I am sure that the policy framework within the country will evolve in a manner that will take care of the greatest good of the greatest number, and the consumers will be kept in mind while making the policy decision. The sector will be kept in mind. The national interest will be kept in mind while making this policy decision. Earlier, TRAI has also made recommendations, and they carried out pilot, and PM1E was introduced in India. It has helped growth of public Wi-Fi hotspots. Almost 2 lakh Wi-Fi hotspots are today PM1E compliant. The scheme definitely needs some more push as far as awareness is concerned, and I think a lot of telecom service providers, especially in rural India, where the BharatNet program has also adopted, in almost 1 lakh plus villages have PM1E compliant hotspots. So those Wi-Fi hotspots will, once they become PM1E compliant, I think there will be a lot of awareness which will push this scheme forward. The regulator is also looking at the aspect of issue of cost of backhaul to these Wi-Fi hotspots. So that consultation process is also on, I suppose. With this, I would like to say that going forward, the Wi-Fi proliferation is going to happen come what may. How it is going to happen, as very beautifully put forth by Dr. Robert Ravi, that it has to be a marriage of mobile technology and Wi-Fi, and I totally endorse that view. And in the end, I once again wish the organization and everyone a happy World Wi-Fi Day. Thank you.
Sir. And ladies and gentlemen, now we turn to a key figure in the government's efforts to advance India's digital landscape, Shri S.K. Marwaji, Scientist G and Group Coordinator at the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. His dedication to fostering innovation and technology in the public sector has been transformative. Please join me in welcoming Shri S.K. Marwa for his esteemed address.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST, who was with us this morning, Mr. Manoj Tandon, Director Railtel, who is also with us, industry participants, Mr. Hiral Modi from Meta and Mr. Pranav Nehru from Atria, Brigadier Anil Tandon, DG, and Dr. S.N. Gupta, Treasurer BIF, and also Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, who joined us virtually from US, distinguished delegates, industry leaders, my ex-colleagues from DOT, R.K. Pathak, DG Bharat 6G Alliance, and Mr. Bharat Bhatia, who is the President ITU APT, my ex-colleague in MeitY, Mr. Deepak Singh, colleagues in MeitY, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. I'm indeed delighted to be here today at this event with the theme Together for a Better Internet, Wi-Fi, the enabler of affordable and inclusive broadband for India, on the occasion of the World Wi-Fi Day organized by Broadband India Forum. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this very special event. Wi-Fi plays an important role in making broadband services affordable and inclusive across India. Ensuring broadband connectivity reaches every citizen, regardless of geographic location, is essential for fostering an inclusive digital economy. The government is vigorously promoting the Digital India program, recognizing critical dependence of digital services on widespread internet access. Empowering our youth through seamless connectivity is a key objective, with Wi-Fi enabling access to educational resources, job opportunities, and entrepreneurial ventures in urban, rural, hilly, and desert areas. Public Wi-Fi networks are crucial for increasing internet penetration and affordability, facilitating access in homes, schools, institutions, and other public spaces, thereby supporting remote work and participation in the digital economy. India is in the midst of a spiraling data revolution. My speakers before me had talked about it in great detail. The voracious appetite displayed by the Indian netizens to the tune of over 19.5 GB of data per subscriber per month as per the latest TRAI report, and that is rising continuously. Affordable mobile broadband tariffs have been the principal catalyst for this remarkable uptake and consumption across both urban and rural markets. India is a mobile-first country with over 97% of netizens accessing the internet using mobile networks. Most of the data usage, according to the industry estimates, happens while indoors or in areas with good Wi-Fi coverage, which is almost to the tune of 70 to 80%. The feature of mobile data offload on Wi-Fi networks at indoor locations enables maintenance of good quality network availability on mobile networks, since most of the high-capacity data downloads happen not when the person is on the move, but when he or she is in a fixed location and mostly using Wi-Fi. Since the pandemic, one has seen a steady growth in fixed broadband customers and number of FTTH connections all across. With the increased emphasis on in-building solutions and Wi-Fi inside buildings, both residential and enterprise, we are likely to see accelerated growth in fixed line networks in the future. Wi-Fi in India has not modernized sufficiently or proliferated in tandem with modernization of the cellular mobile technologies. While we have launched 5G extensively in India, Wi-Fi still continues to work on the old Wi-Fi 5 technology. With the availability of modern Wi-Fi technologies, Wi-Fi 6E and 7 with Wi-Fi 8 on the horizon, it can play a complementary role to 5G by supplementing its efforts in areas where coverage is either sparse or not available. Even in urban areas, fast and congestion-free Wi-Fi based on modern Wi-Fi technologies is required. Fiber to the home plus Wi-Fi is the critical combination for accessing the most reliable internet. Given this rising demand and uptake of high quality data content, the price sensitivity of the Indian market, and the growing work from anywhere culture, Wi-Fi emerges as the most practical solution for catering to the needs of fast transforming digital India. Video traffic constitutes a significant proportion of Indian internet traffic today, to the tune of about 60 to 70%, with the proportion being significantly higher in the rural areas. Mobile spectrum, being a scarce resource by itself, cannot cope up with the exploding data volumes at acceptable service levels. It is high time that the same is complemented with high quality, affordable, and accessible Wi-Fi services for better performance, greater outreach, and digital inclusion. The introduction of the Prime Minister's Wi-Fi Access Network Interface (PM WANI) scheme adequately establishes that Wi-Fi is the practical way to accelerate broadband penetration in the country and help attain the vision of Digital India and the mission of broadband for all. Public Wi-Fi hotspots have an immense potential to generate enormous public benefits for the benefit of the country as an enabler of rural broadband and as a catalyst for economic activity. Wi-Fi can also help propel socio-economic growth by providing employment opportunities for millions of our youth in the small, local, and village-level entrepreneurs and drive inclusion and rural digital connectivity. Continuous investments in high-quality infrastructure and fostering innovation through R&D in communications and broadband technologies are vital for promoting digital inclusion. The E-Infrastructure Division at MeitY has supported public internet access programs by providing Wi-Fi in universities, enhancing the educational experience for students and faculty through high-speed, secure data connectivity, and promoting collaborative learning and global engagement. Specific initiatives include setting up of Wi-Fi-enabled networks in universities such as the Utkal University, Northeastern Hill University, Pune University, Osmania University, Allahabad University, and Patna University. Additionally, efforts are on to strengthen the ICT and Wi-Fi infrastructure at the Himachal Pradesh University in Shimla. These initiatives underscore the importance of Wi-Fi in advancing India's digital transformation and ensuring that every citizen benefits from high-quality internet connectivity. I am happy to note that 3 panel discussions are being organized today, the first being enablers for Wi-Fi proliferation in India, the second one on Wi-Fi, 5G and Wi-Fi coverage for seamless connectivity, and the third on from dead zones to data streams through public Wi-Fi. Each one with eminent speakers, moderator, and panelists. We keenly look forward to the deliberations, outcomes, and recommendations of these panels for consideration of the government. To deliver true broadband for all and to meet the requirements of inclusive digital India, proliferation of public Wi-Fi would be a great enabler to deliver affordable, quality, and ubiquitous broadband to all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Mr. Anil Tandon, Director General BIF, to kindly propose the vote of thanks. Brigadier Anil Tandon, retired, is a telecom technology leader with a wide experience in the areas of spectrum, RPFs, technical and commercial negotiations, and networks. And over to you, sir.
Good afternoon. Has it become good afternoon? Yeah, I think so. Good afternoon, everybody. At the outset, I think I want to take this opportunity to thank the chief guest, Professor Abhay Karandikar, who was here earlier, but had to leave early because of a commitment that he had earlier, which one can imagine. In fact, I'm thankful to all the government officials who've been here, because we can understand the amount of changes that have happened with the new ministry coming in. They all must be very busy with the 100-day program, and yet finding time to come out has been a great thank you from me to all the government officials. especially Professor Abhay Karandikar. Then Mr. Dr. Robert Ravi, who also had to leave a little early. He also took time off and also brought us how he has been associated with the Wi-Fi for a very long time. And brought out some very interesting parameters or what needs to be done going forward, and I'm sure in the panels that come, they would try and look into those aspects. The next I want to thank is Shri Marwa, Scientist G from METI, for also taking time off and coming and giving us. And also it was interesting to note that they have the amount of support that they have provided for the Wi-Fi in the universities and other areas. I'm sure they will continue to provide that support going forward. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Sanjeev Sharma, who again was the last moment we had to come at a short notice, and I must thank him for raising the point as to why we are celebrating the Wi-Fi Day. He brought home, he took us back to our homes and what it is. And if I may add there, these days as a joke goes around that when a person comes to your house, you ask him, tea or coffee, and he says, no, give me the Wi-Fi password. So I think that about says as to what is the importance of the Wi-Fi and why we are trying to celebrate the Wi-Fi Day. I'd like to thank also Manoj Tandon, who is from the RailTel, Director of Projects, and also the chairman of the BIF committee. BIF works through committees, and he's the chairman of the BIF committee on Wi-Fi. On the industry sides, I would like to thank Hiral Modi, who gave a lovely presentation and a talk, and I think must have fascinated each one of you. Thank you for coming over all the way from the US and making this presentation. And Mr. Pranav Nehru, who is the CEO of ACT, also as an industry speaker. Lastly, I would like to thank all the people who are here and have attentively paid attention to all that has been said from the academia, and I see a lot of my other friends also here. Thank you once again for being here. I think thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now, as a token of our appreciation and to commemorate the invaluable contributions of all our esteemed guests, we would like to present a memento as a symbol of gratitude and respect. And I would request Dr. S.N. Gupta to kindly do the honors of presenting to Shri S.K. Marwa. To Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma. To Mr. Manoj Tandon. Yes. Okay. Mr. Nehru is also. To Mr. Hiren Modi. To Mr. Modi, sir. And I would request Mr. Anil Tandon to kindly do the honors of presenting a memento to Dr. S.N. Gupta. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a very short 10 minutes break. We request everybody to be seated back in 10 minutes for the next session. And we also thank TV sir for his kind presence here with us. Thank you, sir. And you may join us back in 10 minutes after the tea break. Thank you.